There comes a time in the quiet hush of our lives when the wind changes direction, though no leaf stirs. A subtle shift occurs, unseen but deeply felt, a trembling within the bones, a stirring in the soul. It is as though the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to notice, and when you do, oh, how the spirit awakens, how the heart opens, like a flower blooming in the first golden light of spring. This is no ordinary moment, no random tide. This is divine preparation, a sacred refining, a knowing beyond knowing that something larger than your understanding is aligning on your behalf. When God begins to prepare you for something monumental, the signs are not always loud. They may not come with trumpets or thunder, but they come, quietly, firmly, unmistakably. First, there is the ache, not pain in the body, no, this is an ache of the soul, a divine dissatisfaction that settles deep within your spirit. What once fulfilled you now feels hollow. The rooms you once danced in feel too small. The dreams you used to dream no longer keep you warm at night. You look around, and though everything appears the same, nothing feels the same. The smile you wear is polite, but the eyes behind it are searching, yearning, asking questions you don't yet know how to form with your lips. You begin to feel like a seed cracking open in the dark soil. No light yet, only pressure. And yet, somehow, you know this discomfort is not punishment, it is preparation. God is stirring your spirit because where you are is no longer where you're meant to be. That ache is your invitation to grow, to stretch, to rise. Then comes the stripping, the gentle or sometimes not so gentle removal of things and people that no longer align with your purpose. This is the season of letting go. Jobs may end, relationships may shift, friends may distance themselves, you may lose what once felt essential. And oh, how the heart mourns. It feels like being undone, unraveled thread by thread. But this too is sacred, for in the stripping, God is making room. You cannot carry the weight of the past into the promises of your future. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. So you are refined, reduced to the essential, and reminded of who you are without the noise. It is in this bareness that you begin to remember the truth, that you were never defined by your status, your salary, or your circle. You are divine breath wrapped in flesh, a miracle in motion. And now you are becoming. In the silence that follows, when the noise dies down and you are left only with your thoughts and your heartbeat, the third sign begins to bloom, the rise of clarity. This is not clarity born of logic or calculation. This is soul clarity, spirit wisdom. It comes in whispers and nudges, in dreams that visit you like old friends, in synchronicities that feel too divine to be coincidental. A path begins to reveal itself, not all at once, but step by holy step. You begin to see not just with your eyes, but with your intuition. You understand that what felt like endings were actually beginnings, that the closed doors were not rejection, but redirection, that what was taken was only removed to make space for what is coming. You begin to trust that the same God who spun galaxies into being has a plan for your life, and you start walking, not because you see the whole road, but because your spirit tells you, this is the way. With that trust comes the stretching. The fourth sign, this is the part that tests you, expands you, teaches you to breathe in deeper faith. You are given visions bigger than your current reality. You are called to things that scare you, things you feel unqualified for. You find yourself standing on the edge of comfort, staring out into the unknown, and you have a choice. Stay small or rise into the person God is calling you to be. You begin to do things afraid. You begin to speak when your voice trembles. You start showing up, imperfectly but consistently. You lean into your gifts. You take steps even when the ground beneath your feet feels like it might give way. And through it all, you are being shaped, not just for the blessing, but to carry it with grace. You are not only being prepared for the promise, you are becoming the kind of person who can sustain it. And then, finally, there is alignment, the fifth and most beautiful sign, the season where what you have been praying for begins to find you, where the right people cross your path, the right doors open, and opportunities meet you like long-lost companions. But this alignment is not just about external success. It is about internal harmony. You begin to feel peace, not because everything is perfect, but because you are aligned with your yes feels whole, your no feels empowered. You no longer chase, you attract, because you have become magnetic with authenticity, radiant with truth. You have grown roots deep in faith, and now your branches can reach farther than you ever imagined. And the beauty is, this isn't the end, it's only the beginning of a new chapter, a divine unfolding. And so, if you are feeling lost, restless, uncomfortable, take heart. These are not signs of failure. These are signs of formation. If things are being removed from your life, trust the pruning. If your dreams are growing bigger than your reality, trust the stretching. If your clarity is returning, trust the whisper. If peace is beginning to settle where anxiety once lived, trust the alignment. These are the signs. These are the sacred breadcrumbs. God is preparing you, not just for something, but for something big. Something that will stretch you, elevate you, require more of you, but also bless you, fulfill you, and overflow from you into others. So do not shrink, beloved. Do not hide. Do not settle for less than what your soul knows it was created for. You were born with purpose etched into your bones, and no delay, detour, or disappointment can erase what God has ordained. There is a calling over your life that is louder than your doubts and stronger than your fears, and every moment, every pain, every loss, every revelation has been part of the preparation. You have not been forgotten. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for grace to find you and for glory to rise. So rise, rise even if your knees shake. Rise even if your voice trembles. Rise in the knowledge that you are being led even when you cannot see the way. Rise because the world needs what you carry. Rise because your time is not coming. It is here. Rise because God is not just preparing something for you. He is preparing you for it. And when it comes, you will be ready. You are not waiting on a miracle. You are the miracle. You are not chasing a destiny. You are embodying it. And the moment you accept this truth, the moment you embrace the process, the moment you surrender to the shaping, you will realize that the journey was never about getting somewhere. It was about becoming someone. The someone you were always meant to be. And when you look back with tear-washed eyes and a heart swollen with gratitude, you will not just thank God for the destination. You will thank Him for the preparation. For it was in the wilderness you found your strength. It was in the silence you heard His voice. It was in the stretching you learned to fly. And it is in the fullness of time that you will see everything had purpose. Everything had meaning. And now you are ready. And still the preparation continues. Not in a straight line, not in a predictable arc, but in a sacred spiraling rhythm. God's timing is not bound by the ticking of clocks or the deadlines we set for ourselves. It is measured in transformation, in surrender, in becoming, and in this becoming you may feel as though you are being broken apart, not destroyed, but broken open, so that what is real, what is eternal, what is divinely planted in you can rise to the surface, unencumbered by the illusions the world placed on you. You begin to shed skins that were never yours to wear. Expectations, titles, fears, comparisons, all falling away like dead leaves in autumn. And what remains is raw, tender, honest, but it is real, and God can only build on what is real. Sometimes it takes everything falling apart for you to discover what can never be taken from you. Sometimes it's the breaking that leads to the blessing. You see, the preparation is not just about positioning. It is about purification. God is not interested in putting you in rooms you are not ready to stand in. He is more concerned with your foundation than your platform. So He allows the pressure. He allows the pause. He allows the refining fire, not to harm you, but to purify you, so that when the time comes, you are not just elevated, you are established. You may find yourself weeping without knowing why, sitting in stillness that feels both heavy and holy. You may find that the things that once brought you joy now stir no excitement. You are not broken, dear one. You are simply awakening. Your spirit is recalibrating to the frequency of your next level. The joy that awaits you is too big for the old version of you. It requires your expansion. And sometimes expansion feels like loss and like grief, because it is. You are grieving the version of yourself that you once needed but no longer do. And that is sacred too. Let yourself mourn. Let the tears flow. They are not signs of weakness. They are signs of rebirth. There will be days when you feel forgotten, when your prayers seem to echo into silence, when others are being blessed and you are being broken. But understand, delay is not denial. Hidden does not mean forsaken. In fact, the hiding is often the holiest part of the preparation. It is in the shadows that God forms the strongest roots. It is in obscurity that He teaches you to walk by faith, not by sight. When no one is watching, He is molding your character. When the crowd is gone, He is cultivating your courage. And when the lights are off, He is igniting your inner fire. so that when the time comes, you do not just arrive, you emerge. And oh, how glorious the emergence will be, not because you have finally proven yourself, but because you have finally remembered who you are. You will speak with the authority of someone who has walked through fire and come out gold. You will carry a presence that cannot be faked because it was forged in the unseen places. And people will marvel not at your success, but at your peace, your resilience, your unwavering light. They will see the glow in your eyes and know it came from within, that it was God who lit that fire, and it cannot be dimmed. But even in the glow, stay grounded. The same God who lifted you can anchor you. The preparation never truly ends, because purpose is a lifelong journey. Each level brings new lessons. Each blessing carries new responsibilities. But by then you'll know how to stand. You'll know how to bend without breaking. You'll know how to lead with humility and love with depth. Because your success will not be about status. It will be about service. You will become the answer to someone else's prayer, a beacon for someone else's storm. And that, beloved, is the true sign of divine preparation, when your life becomes a vessel for healing, for hope, for heaven on earth. There is nothing random about your path. Every closed door, every delayed answer, every detour has been deliberate. Pain was not placed in your life to punish you, but to point you toward your power. Disappointment did not come to diminish you, but to deepen your roots. Even your loneliness has served a purpose. It has made room for divine intimacy. In your solitude, God has spoken to you in ways that the noise could never allow. He has revealed truths, birthed visions, sparked dreams that are too sacred for public display. You are carrying something holy. And sometimes the holiest things must be hidden until they are strong enough to survive exposure. So do not be ashamed of your process. Do not rush your unfolding. Do not compare your pace to another's. What God is doing in you is tailor-made, unrepeatable, sovereign. And when it is time, it will come together in a way so seamless, so breathtaking, that you will laugh through your tears and whisper, "Only God," because it will be evident that no hand but His could have orchestrated your rise. Your story will be a living testament to His faithfulness, a canvas painted in grace, mercy, and miracles. Hold on even when your hands feel weak. Trust even when your heart is weary. Rest even when the world demands hustle. For preparation is not always about doing more. Sometimes it's about becoming more. Becoming more still, more surrendered, more sensitive to the whisper of God in your soul. In a culture that glorifies the spotlight, choose the sacredness of the shadows. Choose to be planted, not just positioned, because when you are planted, you grow from the inside out, and that kind of growth, it cannot be shaken. Even now, heaven is moving on your behalf. Angels are arranging connections, doors are creaking open, hearts are being stirred to bless you, even if they do not yet know your name. And you are being readied. The trembling you feel is not fear, it is the birthing of greatness. The vision that won't leave you alone is not fantasy, it is destiny, and it will not pass you by. What is meant for you will not miss you. What is meant for you will not miss you. But you must stay the course. You must keep walking, even when the road disappears under your feet, because every step forward is a step into alignment. And when it comes, when the moment arrives, when the promise manifests, when the pieces click into place, you will look back on this season and understand. You will bless the breaking. You will thank the silence. You will praise God not just for the mountain, but for the valley that carved your strength. You will understand that it was not in spite of the struggle that you rose, but because of it. There is a holy fire within you, and it has been lit for such a time as this. You are not here by accident. You are not in process by mistake. You are being called, shaped, sanctified. And the beauty is, this is not just for your benefit. Your breakthrough will break chains for others. Your healing will ripple into generations. Your rising will remind others that they too can rise. And in that rising, in that shared becoming, we honor the divine in one another. So keep going, precious soul. When you feel tired, rest, but do not quit. When you feel unseen, remember God sees you. When you feel behind, know that you are right on divine schedule. You are not building an empire. You are cultivating a legacy, a life that speaks of love, of faith, of purpose fulfilled. And every tear you've cried, every night you spent on your knees, every time you kept the faith when it would have been easier to walk away, it has all counted. None of it is wasted. All of it is woven. And if you could see what I see, if you could glimpse the glory that awaits you, you would understand why the preparation feels so intense. You would see the magnitude of the calling and realize why the training had to be so deep. So let this be your reminder. your encouragement, your confirmation. You are in the hands of the master potter. He does not waste clay. He does not abandon his creations halfway. And he is not finished with you yet. When the world looks at you, let them see the evidence of grace. Let them see the strength born of struggle, the joy born of journey, the wisdom born of wounds that have healed into testimony. Let your life be a lighthouse. Let your voice echo hope. Let your hands build bridges, and let your heart remain open, because God is not done blessing you. No, this is just the beginning. God, Adonai. And it is beautiful. Even as the days stretch on and the answers seem slow in coming, do not let discouragement whisper lies into your soul. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing broken that cannot be healed, nothing lost that cannot be redeemed. The delay you feel is not a denial of your worth. It is an expression of your significance. For the greater the calling, the deeper the preparation, the higher the purpose, the longer the process. And while it may feel like God has gone silent, rest assured heaven is not still. It is moving, shaping, orchestrating, quietly, faithfully. God does his finest work in the unseen. It is in the wilderness that purpose is revealed, not the palace. The desert, not the spotlight, is where divine identity is forged. If you find yourself in a place that feels barren, overlooked, or stripped of comfort, know this: you are not being punished, you are being positioned. You are being taught to hear the voice that isn't loud but is lasting. You are learning to recognize the whispers that carry truth louder than thunder. You are being drawn closer to the heart of God, not pushed away. Because before you can carry the weight of your assignment, you must be anchored in something deeper than applause. You must be rooted in the eternal. The pain you are walking through now, the tears you cry in secret, the heaviness you carry in the quiet hours, none of it is unseen. None of it is wasted. You are not forgotten in your trial. You are being watched over with a tenderness you cannot yet comprehend. The ache in your chest, that longing for more, is not foolishness. It is holy. It is a compass, not a curse. That ache is leading you home. Not home in the sense of place, but home in the sense of purpose. Home to your truest self, the self God imagined before the foundations of the world. The self that walks with boldness, not born of pride, but born of presence. The presence of the one who called you, who sees you, who walks with you even now. There will come a moment, soft, quiet, and profound, when you realize that the very things you prayed would be removed were the very tools that built your strength. That what you called burdens were actually blessings in disguise. That what broke your heart, stretched your patience, tested your spirit, those were the chisels in the hand of the artist, shaping you into a masterpiece. And oh, how beautiful you are becoming. You may not see it yet, not fully, but others will. They will sense it in your presence, feel it in your words, receive it in your kindness. You will become a mirror of grace, not because you are perfect, but because you are prepared. Your scars will not be sources of shame. They will be symbols of survival. Evidence that you were in the fire and yet you endured, that you were pressed but not crushed, struck down but not destroyed. You will walk with a limp perhaps, but it will be holy. It will speak of the wrestling you have done, of the dark nights spent grappling with God, of the morning light that found you changed. And in that limp, in that mark, is power. Not the power to dominate, but the power to lead with humility, to speak not from theory but from truth, and people will listen, not to your perfection but to your honesty. They will follow not your fame but your faithfulness. You will look around one day and realize you are living in the very prayers you once whispered with trembling lips. What once felt like a far-off dream will become your reality. Not because you forced it, but because you were faithful. You stayed when it was hard. You believed when it didn't make sense. You chose love when bitterness seemed easier. You forgave when you had every right to hold a grudge. And all of that, the choices made in private, the obedience offered in silence, it counted. Heaven saw it all. Heaven never forgets. Even now, the seeds you planted in tears are breaking through the soil. Roots have taken hold in the places where no one else looked. Growth is happening in the dark, and soon, sooner than you think, new life will spring forth. Not only in your circumstances, but in you. New confidence, new vision, new authority. You will walk into rooms and the atmosphere will shift, not because of your charisma, but because of your alignment. You have been emptied of ego, filled with purpose. You have traded ambition for assignment, and it shows. The glory of it shines not around you, but through you. Let go of the timeline you've written in your mind. Release the pressure to have it all figured out. Trust that the same God who designed the stars and keeps oceans within their borders knows how to lead you step by step. You do not need to rush the process. You only need to trust the promise. Yes, the journey may feel longer than expected. Yes, the terrain may be steeper than you imagined. But the view from the mountaintop will be worth every single step. And when you reach it, you will understand why the climb was so hard, why the road was so narrow. Because it was not just a path, it was a process of becoming. You are not just walking toward purpose, you are being transformed by it. Every conversation, every encounter, every lesson, it is all shaping the vessel that will carry your calling. And that vessel must be strong. It must be spacious. It must be willing to pour and to be poured into. That's why this season requires surrender. That's why this process feels sacred and stretching all at once. You are being made into something enduring, not temporary, not shallow, but eternal. So bless the small beginnings, honor the hidden years, be faithful in the mundane moments. Because this is where the fire is kindled, this is where the oil is pressed, this is where the anointing flows. And when the time comes, when the season shifts, you will not need to force your way in. You will flow, because you will have become one with your purpose. And nothing, no fear, no opposition, no delay, can stand in the way of a person aligned with heaven. When the light breaks through and your breakthrough comes, remember who brought you there. Remember the nights when all you had was faith. Remember the prayers, the fasting, the long walks, the quiet tears. Remember the strength you didn't know you had until you had no choice but to stand. And let it make you soft, not hard. Let it make you grateful, not entitled, because the best kind of power is not the kind that lords over others. It's the kind that lifts them. And you, having been lifted by grace, will know exactly how to extend it. This, beloved, is more than a season. It is sacred soil. And you are not buried. You are planted. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. And when the time comes for you to bloom, nothing will stop the rising. Nothing will silence the song in your soul. Nothing will undo the promise God has spoken over your life. So breathe, trust, rest, and when your name is called, answer not with fear, but with faith. Say, yes, Lord, I am ready, because you will be, because He has made you ready, because He has walked with you every step of the way, through fire and flood, through silence and song, and He will be with you still when the door swings wide and destiny meets you with open arms. You were never waiting for a sign. You were always the sign that love still wins, that hope still rises, that purpose still breathes in flesh and blood, that God still moves, still speaks, still prepares ordinary people for extraordinary things. And now you are ready, not because the path is easy, but because your spirit is strong, not because the world is certain, but because your heart is anchored in the one who never changes. You are ready, and the world is about to see the beauty of a soul that trusted the preparation more than the praise. A heart that said yes, even when the road was hard. A life that radiates the glory of God, not in words alone, but in every breath, every step, every act of faith. You are ready, and the world is waiting. And as you stand at the precipice, looking at the vast unknown before you, there may be moments when doubt tries to creep in, whispering that you are not enough. It will remind you of all the times you stumbled, the mistakes you've made, the times you felt unworthy or unseen. But hear this. None of it disqualifies you. Not a single misstep diminishes the calling on your life. The truth is, every failure you experienced was simply preparation for a deeper understanding of what you are truly capable of. You see, when you fail and rise again, you gain wisdom. When you struggle and press forward, you gain strength. When you cry and find comfort in the arms of God, you learn what it means to trust fully. All of it, every moment, was necessary for the journey ahead. It is so easy to look at the end result and forget the beauty of the process, the countless hours of sacrifice, the days when you felt like giving up but pressed on anyway, the quiet moments of surrender where you learn to let go of control and trust in something greater than yourself. That's what God is preparing in you. It's not just the grand moments. It's the small, quiet moments of character building, the ones where no one sees the sacrifice but you and God. These moments are shaping you into the kind of person who can carry the weight of your destiny. When you look back on your journey, when you see the people you've met, the paths you've crossed, the closed doors and the unexpected opportunities, you will begin to understand that nothing was wasted. Nothing. Every tear you've shed, every heartache you've endured, every time you wondered why things weren't working out, it was all weaving a tapestry of growth. And when you step into your destiny, you will look at the beauty of it and see how every thread was perfectly placed. There will be times when it feels like nothing is happening, when you are waiting in the silence, when it seems like your prayers are unanswered, your efforts unrecognized, and yet, in the waiting, you are being strengthened. In the stillness, God is working in you, not just around you. He is refining you like gold, removing the impurities, preparing you for the weight of your calling. The waiting is not a waste. The quiet, the patience, the trust, it is all part of the process. It is the secret ingredient that shapes you into someone who can walk into their purpose with humility and grace. When the time is right, you will step forward not as someone who has arrived, but as someone who has been faithfully prepared. And when you finally take that step into the fullness of your calling, when the doors open, when the world begins to take notice of what God has been doing in the hidden places, you will remember the moments of uncertainty, the moments of fear, the moments when you questioned if you could keep going, and you will smile because you will realize that those moments were never signs that you weren't enough. They were signs that God was making you ready. Ready for what? Ready for a breakthrough. Ready for a victory that will echo beyond your own life and ripple into the lives of those around you. Ready for a purpose that will touch the lives of generations to come. You are not being prepared for a moment of fame or fleeting recognition. You are being prepared for something eternal, something that will leave a legacy. And a legacy is not built overnight. It is built one moment at a time, one choice at a time, one act of faith at a time. It is built through obedience, through perseverance, through trusting when it would be easier to turn back. It is built by those who say yes to God even when the road is hard and the reward seems far away. And the beauty of it is this: God does not measure success in the way the world does. The world may look at you and measure your success by what you own or how far you climb, but God sees success in a different way. He sees it in your heart, in your obedience, in the love you show to others, in the grace you extend, and the faith you carry when no one is watching. That's how God measures success. As you continue on your journey, be mindful of the whispers of comparison that will inevitably come. They will try to tell you that you are not as far along as others, that you haven't accomplished as much, that you haven't achieved the same milestones. Don't listen. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You are not in competition with anyone. Your journey is uniquely yours. Your destiny is yours alone. And God will never give someone else what He has ordained for you. Trust that your time is coming. Trust that the path you are on is leading you exactly where you need to go. The timing will be perfect. And while others may appear to be moving faster, remember that the foundation being built beneath the surface is far more important than what's visible on the outside. In those moments when doubt tries to overwhelm you, when fear tries to choke your confidence, remind yourself of the faithfulness of God. Remind yourself of the times He has carried you when you couldn't carry yourself. Remind yourself of the times He has provided when you thought all was lost. Remind yourself that He has never failed you and He will not fail you now. He will see you through to the end, and when the time is right, He will open the doors that no man can shut. The blessings will overflow, the doors will swing wide, and you will step into what you've always dreamed of, but more importantly, into what God has always had planned for you. And when that moment comes, it won't be the applause of the crowd that will matter. It will be the peace in your soul, the assurance that you walked this journey faithfully, that you remained true to the call, and that you did it with love, humility, and grace. So when the weight of the journey feels heavy, when the road seems long, when the storms seem unrelenting, remember that God is preparing you for something big. You are being refined, shaped, and strengthened. Your moments of silence, your moments of struggle, they are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are being prepared. And soon you will see the fruit of that preparation. Soon you will step into your purpose in ways that will astound you. You will look around and realize that what you thought was a wilderness was actually the fertile soil of your destiny. What you thought was delay was actually God's perfect timing at work. Know this: you are never alone in the process. You are never abandoned in the silence. God is with you, always. He is preparing you for something bigger than you can imagine. And in the fullness of time, you will understand that everything you went through, everything you endured, was not a detour. It was part of the plan. You are being shaped for greatness. You are being prepared for a life that will impact the world in ways you cannot yet fathom. And when that moment comes, you will step into it not with fear, but with boldness, knowing that you were always meant for this. Hold on, even when it feels hard. Keep believing, even when it seems impossible. Trust that you are being prepared for something extraordinary, something that will not only change your life, but change the lives of those around you. You are walking in divine purpose, and that purpose is bigger than you can see right now. Keep going, keep believing, keep trusting. You are ready, and the world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep believing. The best is yet to come. And so, dear soul, as you stand at the edge of what seems like the unknown, remember this: you are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into destiny. Every moment of waiting, every tear you've shed, every struggle you've endured has been preparing you for this very moment. The universe, with all its mysteries, has conspired in your favor. You are no accident, no coincidence. You are divinely designed for greatness, and you are being shaped into someone who can carry the weight of that purpose with grace and strength. As you step forward, trust that the path before you is not one of fear but of freedom. You are not alone in this journey. You are held by something greater, something eternal. Your dreams are not just yours to chase, they are yours to fulfill. And when you look back on this moment, you will smile, knowing that you are always ready. So rise, boldly and with confidence, knowing that the best is yet to come. The waiting is over. Your time is now. You are prepared for something big, and nothing at all will stand in the way of the extraordinary things God has already ordained for you.